Hey, first grade. So we're going to continue looking at the different ways to compose and decompose the number 20. Now remember, when we're looking at rec and recs, we have to remember that we are counting the red as well as the white. The dots down here on this side, we almost have to treat them as if they're not there. We're counting what's here on this side. So if you look on the top row, we have 5 red, 5 white, which in total gives me 10 beads on the top. We then have 2 at the bottom. So in total, I have 12 beads. So when I create my number bond, the top is a 12 because that is the total number of beads that I have. At the bottom, what did I use to make the 12? Well, if I look back at my rack and rack, I used a 10 at the top and a 2 at the bottom. That's how I'll fill it in. I'll use a 10 at the bottom and I'll use a 2 at the bottom as well. So 10 and 2 get me to 12. How I put that in the number sentence is the same way. I'm going to put that 10 plus 2 equals 12. Does that make sense? I know the rec and recs are really tricky, so that's why it's important to kind of not look at what's over here. You do count red as well as the white, and if there are white down at the bottom, you count those too. Let's look at it another way. If I have 1, 10, and 7 ones, how will that look in a number bond? Well, 1, 10, and 7 ones makes the number 17. Well, what did I use to build the number 17? I used 1, 10, and I used 7 ones, and that got me to 17. If I put it in a number sentence, I would say that 10 plus 7 equals 17. We're just showing different ways to compose and decompose the number 20. Let's look at another way. If I see my fingers, well, how many do I have? I have 10 at the top and 1 at the bottom. So in total, how many do I have? You're right, I have 11. So I have 11 fingers total. And what did I use to make the 11? Well, I used 10 and I used 1. So 10 plus 1 gets me to 11. If I look down at my number sentence, again, 10 plus 1, oops, so sorry, equals 11. What do y'all think so far? You okay? Let's look at another way. Here they're using tallies. If I have one whole group of tallies and a slash through them, how many is that? You're right, it's 5. So I have 5 and 5, which gets me to 10, and then 3 more, which is 13. So the total number of tallies that I have is 13. So when I'm building my number bond, I have 13, and I have, what did I use to make 13? Well, I had 10 at the top and 3 at the bottom. So I used 10 plus 3. So 10 plus 3 equals 13. What do we think so far? I'm just showing you different ways to represent the number 20 or numbers under 20. Let's look at that rec and rec one more time. So we're only focusing on these dots that are here. So we almost have to imagine as if these are not there. So how many are at the top? You're right, there are 10 at the top, and then we have 5 red and 2 white. So in total, I have 17 beads. I have 10 at the top and 7 at the bottom. So when I fill in my number bond, what goes up at the top? 17. Very good. Well, what did I use to make the number 17? I used the 10 beads that were at the top. These were 10. And then I used 7 that were at the bottom. So when I create my number sentence, I would say that 10 plus 7 equals 17. What do we think? You're going to do something very similar where you are working with the 10s and the 1s for your assignment, and you're going to be creating the number bonds for that. Let me show you. So here's a look at your assignment, and I'll do the first one to help you. They gave you an egg and some bacon. I love eggs and bacon. I don't know about y'all, but I love eggs and bacon. So they're asking, how many 10s did we have? We had one. We had 1 10 because there's one egg. Well, how many 1s do I have? I have 1. So when I put them together, 1 10 and 1 1 gets me to 11. Let's put that in a number sentence. 1 10 is worth 10. 1 1 is worth 1. So 10 plus 1 equals 11. Let's try one more. Here, I have 1 10 and 5 1s. So I have 1 10 and 5 1s. When I put 1 10 and 5 1s together, I get the number 15. So when I put that in a number sentence, 1 10 is worth 10 plus 5 1s is worth 5. 10 plus 5 is 15. And that's what you'll do for the rest of your assignment in Google. All right? Okay,